Okay, it looks like we're live, so welcome back. Today I'm going to be continuing to work on Kano. Alright, so, yeah, I did not stream yesterday, so it's been a second. Let's see what we've got so far. So I can run Kano, we can type, there's syntax highlighting, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I guess the last thing that we worked on was, the visual mode, where now there is different motions and things like that. I think that was the last thing. No, it was the config file, that was the last thing. Yeah, I didn't even remember. Okay, yeah, so that is the last thing I did. So yeah, now you can write a config file for it. You can put it in .config/kano, and then we'll load it. Or you can specify a config file if you wish to do so. Alright, so today I'm gonna be finally implementing undo. And maybe redo as well. We'll see how it goes. So yeah. This is sort of like the last big thing. And then I will consider switching over entirely to Kano. Because that's really something that you need in a text editor. If you're trying to code, you really want to be able to undo stuff. That is quite helpful. So that is quite important. Okay. So there's a few different ways you can do this. Like Vim, it like creates a tree-like structure, so there's different branches and things like that, and you undo, and then you go to different branches, things like that. I don't know that I'm gonna get that complicated into it. I think I'm gonna do it. Really, it's like the most naive kind of way, where basically we have the buffer, right, and that is all of the data. Just save that buffer, save that buffer into some sort of an array, and then if you press undo, then whatever's at the top of the array, the stack, if you will, you just basically copy all of the data of that into the current buffer, and then that would undo it, right? The downside of that is it's not quite as extensive and such, and also it is going to waste a lot of stuff because we're saving the entire buffer each time. But yeah, once we implement that, we can, iterate over it and possibly fix it as well. Okay, so the way I'm going to do that, it's going to be in a stack, like I was saying. So you're only going to be able to go back so far, because we don't want to just have it be an ever-growing stack, because otherwise you're going to eventually use up all your memory, especially if you have a really big file. So I think it'll be fixed, so you sort of can undo a certain amount. Yeah, but we'll figure that out once we get to it. The first thing I want to do, though, is actually implement free buffer. So just a function, we can free buffer, and pass a pointer to the buffer. I think that is going to be important because we're going to be wanting to free the buffer. Yeah, because we don't do that now. So it sort of is a memory leak, but it also frees at the end. But yeah, we're going to want to be doing that when we are putting it on the stack and then popping it off and stuff. We want to free it once we do that. So let's do that. Oh, let's see. Do we have? Maybe I'll just put it here. Free buffer. Alright, so we're just going to take the buffer, and that should be all that we need. So we can just basically, we want to free the, actually we can't really free the actual buffer because it's not allocated. But we need, oops. So I is less than buffer. So we definitely need to free the rows. And actually we want row capacity, right? Yeah, because that is what we got. Because that's all that's allocated currently. So we want to free all of those. Free buffer rows I. So that should free all of the rows. And what else do we allocate in the buffer? Let's take a look at the buffer, which is right here. So we have the file name. We might allocate that, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. Okay, we have all these positions. That doesn't really matter. And then we have the rows. Yeah, we're going to need to free the rows as well, because it's a two-dimensional array, right? Rows, and where is the row defined? Maybe I can jump right here. Okay, yeah, we have the contents of each one. So we want to free the contents, and then at the end, we'll free the actual array itself. Okay. Free buffer. So we want dot contents, and then at the end, we'll free buffer rows. Okay, I think that should be good. Let me make sure that compiles. Right, let's compile, and if I run it, and then I quit. Okay, we didn't get any errors, so I'm assuming it worked. It should have freed all of everything. And that's all we need to free for now. Do we need to free the file name? Well, the file name, it's going to be allocated, like, it's an argument. At least usually. So we don't need to free that, I don't think. I think we're good on that. But I will adjust that later, because there are times where we would want to free it. But for now, that's only like a couple bytes. It's not that big of a deal. This is what I'm more worried about, is the rows, because that's where most of it is. Okay, now we have that. And now we're going to need a way to basically copy a buffer. So maybe I'll just make a function for that as well. Copy buffer. So we're going to need a buffer, and that's it. And then So the reason we can't just copy the buffer exactly is well, it's because stuff is allocated, right? We have pointers to things, so we need to create a copy of it where we allocate the same amount of space and we copy all of the data over one to one, right? Like of the rows primarily. Okay, so we want to. Well, we're gonna need to create a buffer. Yeah, and we'll probably return a buffer from here. Really not that large of a thing, because this is a pointer. This visual might be like it's got a couple things there, but it's not that large. It's maybe like 100 bytes, something like that. Because well, these are all 8, right? So that's already 32. This is 8 as well. This is 8, and then this is gonna be quite a bit more. So yeah, it's around 100 or so. It's not that large. Because these are all pointers, right? So it's not that big of a deal. To pass it around. So buffer. Okay. We'll just call it buffer. This one. And let's see. We want to actually allocate it. I'm thinking maybe. Well, we'll just put it on the stack for now. Okay, and we'll set buff. We want to set most of the things that aren't pointers directly to this. Because this doesn't use any pointers, so it's just gonna be a copy of that. That is fine. That is fine. So yeah, I'm just copying that so I can see. So we want buffer.row capacity equals buffer row capacity, and then index. Okay, and then this is current position. Yeah, we want to set it to the same current position. So this is what we're going to be calling whenever we want to save. And we're just going to be pushing it onto the buffer, onto a stack, right? Row capacity. So we got that. We got the index, the current position. We need the row size. Okay, row size. Okay, and now it's going to differentiate. Do we want to set the file name? We'll allocate a new file. See, that's why I was thinking about freeing it, but yeah. We'll just allocate a new one for now. Equals malloc size of times buffer file name. We want the size of this, so we can use Sterling. I think that should be fine. It should be no terminating. Okay, so allocate that, and then Sterling copy. Buff.file name. Buffer. And then we want the Sterling again, so I'll make this size. File name size equals Sterling. Buffer file name, and we'll use that instead of this. File name size, and here we want file name size as well. Okay, so that should copy it all. And then we can just set the visual as well. Visual equals buffer visual. And then we need to copy all of the rows. So I'll probably make a function for that as well. But we can just iterate over it. So for size I equals 0, while I is less than buffer row. We really just need the row size for this. Because we don't want to copy empty ones. There's not really much of a point in that. But we do need to allocate it first. So we have the row capacity. So we want buff.rows equals, we'll use calc for this. Now I'm thinking this, we might want to do +1, so we can get the null termination character, but I'm not going to worry about that yet. So we use calc. We want, let's see, which order does it go? Calc, let's see, calc. Okay. So that is, let's look at calc. Alright, so the elements go first. Okay, so we want buffer row capacity, and then we want size of, yep. So that's what we're going to allocate. Size of a pointer to row, right? Let me think. Let's see where we allocate the other buffer. The rows are down here, so that's it. Let's see, where do we allocate them? Let's see. I think well, we can make it here. Calc. We allocate, that's that. Oh yeah, it's in resize rows actually. Alright, maybe we could even just resize the rows. Well then it's gonna be too large, right? So we don't necessarily want to do that. We could call this. Okay, yeah, I might want to do that. Well, maybe not. I didn't actually look in what order it goes in. Okay. Size of row, no, right here. Yeah, just size of row. Okay, so that's good. That's what we want. So we allocate that, and then we iterate over it, and we need to allocate each one, and then copy the data into it. So we'll do buff.rows i.contents equals, we need to calculate for this as well. So we need buffer rows i.size, size of characters. This is going to copy, that's going to be the exact right size. And then we want to string copy as well into buff.rows i.contents. We want to copy buffer rows i.contents, and we want buffer rows i.size. Okay, so that should copy all of those, and that should be all the data that we need, I think. Shoot, we need to also copy the size, though. So, can I just use memcopy for this, actually? I don't know. Let's look at memcopy. I don't necessarily want to do that, so I need to set, buff.rows i.size equals buffer. Actually, I'm going to probably create something for this. So a row current equals buffer rows I. That's what we want. So we want, say this, we want to just use current size. Maybe this will just be a pointer as well. Current size, and this will be current size as well. Okay, and here we want current contents. Okay, and then what else do we have in the row that we need to copy? So we have the size, contents, and the index. Okay, so we need to copy the index as well. Excuse me. Yeah, so we'll copy the index. Okay, and that should copy all of the data that we need from the buffer. So we can just return the buffer. So we can create a new buffer. And yeah, okay. And then we want to put this onto a stack, which will be like the copy paste. Or well, this is like the undo. So we'll make I want it to be basically a dynamic array, right? Well, no, it can be a fixed size array, probably. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. So we're going to take buffers in here. And this will be buff stack. And let's see, so, let's see, how do I want to do that? I could also, if I make it a dynamic array, like we don't necessarily need to increase the size because it's going to be fixed, but like where the user can choose the size. So that might actually be better. Let's see, so this will be size t buffer size. And this will be size t buffer capacity. So then, yeah, the capacity will be set, and the current size is sort of the pointer to where we're at. Okay, I think that'd be fine. Very about that, yeah. So then this will point, well, it needs to be a, yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so then we can have that. Okay, I think that is good. So we need to allocate, that. So we need to set up the, basically the undo stack. So this will be, undo. I think that is a fine name. Let's give it extra space here. Okay. Yes, I think that will be good. So then we can copy the buffer. We can also free them when we pop them off, right? And then we just need to basically initialize that, and then we need to know when we're going to actually append onto the stack, the undo stack. Okay, and when we want to do that, I'm thinking, at least for now, I'll test it out and see what works better. But if I go into handle keys, right here, it's got a little messy. Basically, when you're in insert mode, whenever you press escape, it would copy one, right? So you can type something out in insert mode, and then you press escape to go back to normal mode. It would save that. So if you press undo, it'll undo what you just did. And then also any changes that you make in normal mode. So like if you press X or whatever. And then we can, work on more in the future. Let me initialize this though. Wherever we initialize the buffer, where is that? Right here. So we'll probably want to copy the initial state into it as well. So we'll do it like right after this. So undo. So this will be the undo stack, basically. And we can, let's see, do we want to zero initialize that? Or do we want it to be a pointer? No, I think it's fine. So then undo stack. This is the buffer What is it? Let me go to this. It's buff stack. Okay. Buff stack equals malloc size of. Well, so we'll make an initial capacity. Well, it's gonna be in the configurator section. So config. In here we'll have size t, and this will be the undo size. And I'm not gonna, yeah, so I'll set it to 16 by default. Then I'll make a command so you can change it in the future. Size of buffer times undo, no, what was that called? Undo size. Excuse me. Alright, so we can allocate that. And I probably want to use calc actually. Undo size, undo buffer, okay, there we go. Okay, so we can allocate that. And then we need to set, obviously, well, the undo stack dot buff capacity equals size. And then the initial one is 0, so that is fine, because we zero initialize the whole thing. So I'll have to set this actually to undo stack dot buff capacity. Okay, so it's very clear what's going on. Alright. So they are meant to be basically like that. Okay. We should do that actually after we load the config. Okay. Yeah, like that. Alright, and then we need to copy buffer. And that's going to return a copy of the buffer. And then we want that to be the first element of the stack. Okay. So let's do undo stack dot buff stack. I don't really need to call it buff stack because undo stack, but whatever. Equals copy buffer and a pointer to buffer. Okay. So that should be the first element of it. Actually, we need 0. And let me see if any of this compiles. It does actually compile. Okay. If I run this, okay, that worked. I don't know if we can restore it though. Let's actually, well, we'll just memcopy, right? We'll create in normal mode. Case normal, right here. We'll have a U. So, I really want to kind of order these. I'm probably gonna do something for it. But yeah, basically, we're not gonna worry about copying it over and everything. First, I just want to try to get over it. So I'll probably put it right here. Case undo, right? Undo. And line break. And basically, we just want to do memcopy. I'm gonna put the buffer into the buffer. Copy. We need to pass the stack size. So, or the stack, actually, the undo stack. So, I don't think it should be stored in the buffer. I think I should have a greater, like, outer struct, where everything is sort of stored, like where it contains it all. So, I'll probably make that. So, this is sort of like the, I don't know what I'm going to call it. This is like the container, right? But how do you call that? Let's see. It's sort of the state, right? So maybe I can even call it state. And that's where I'll try to store everything. So we'll have the undo in here. And then we'll actually switch it over, so we're using that one instead. And that's what we need to pass now. And that's where we can put all the flags and everything like that. I think we will do that. I'm not gonna change it all yet, but I will do that. And then we don't have to pass everything like that. I think that's a good idea. So let's go up here. And we want to actually set, we want to create the, excuse me, sorry about that. Got a bit of a cold. I want to create the state equals 0. And then, yeah, we'll set, we don't need that, but we need state.undo stack. Whoops, state.undo stack and state.undo stack. Alright, and that should still compile as well. Okay, it does not. Undo stack undeclared. Yes, because I need to do state. Alright. Okay. And then we'll just pass the state into here. Into the handle key. Alright, pointer to state. We can probably put all the windows in there as well. But I'll just do that for now. So I'll make it the second one because I think that makes sense. Handle keys. Where else do we call it? That's it? Oh, shoot. I thought we were calling it. Okay, I guess that makes sense, actually. Please parameter state. Yes. So now in the U, in the undo, I want to just basically memcopy, right? Memcopy, buffer. It's already pointer, so buffer. And then we want state. Let's see, we want state. It is state undo. Undo stack. dot buffer stack 0. It's actually buff stack. Pointer to this. Let's see, and then no and copy. And we want to copy, yeah, we need the number of bytes. So we'll do, just want to copy size of buffer, right? And that's it. Shoot, but we need to actually, we might need to make a special thing for this, because we have to copy all the rows as well. So we can't quite just do this. But, well, it might work, actually, because it's going to just change the pointers. So we do need to free the initial buffer, but let's see what happens. I do this, and I press U. Save file. Okay, that makes sense. Stack 0, which should be initialized with the initial state of the buffer. It's hard to tell why it would save file. Let's really try DDD. I'm not sure how useful that's going to be in this case, but I'll try it. The slash debug, yeah, we don't need any flags or anything. Shoot, actually, this might be kind of hard to use. Break on me. Maybe I just don't want to break, like, right here. But it might not get here, so, yeah. Yeah, and then it's gonna come up with that, and it's gonna be hard to use. Maybe there's a better way to use a debugger here. Yeah, once it enables, it's gonna, you know. Yeah, there we go. I can still see what's going on, though. So, yeah, maybe this isn't great. I mean, we know where it's breaking, but I can't get there unless I press the key, you know? Alright, maybe I'm just, understand it like that. Okay. So. Let's see, did it actually... What if we just set buffer equal to it, you know? Equal to the pointer to it. Can I try that? Instead of actually copying everything, set buffer equal to this. Does that work? Right, just I didn't do anything. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so that's just a local variable of buffer, right? That's why we have to mem copy. Okay. It's not gonna quite work. So let's do basically like set buffer. Set buffer. And we want to set all the contents of this buffer equal to I really want to kind of copy the buffer though. Hello, Stam, how are you doing? State stack 0. Okay, let's try that. Set buffer. Do I want to, can I just use the copy buffer? Me no English. Oh. Hola. I don't know a lot of Spanish words, not gonna lie. Okay, set buffer. Can we just use the copy buffer actually? Let me look at copy buffer. Can we use that? Let's see. What if we do that? Yeah, what if we do that? That could be interesting. What if we set buffer equal to copy buffer? And we use this. That is assuming that even works, but that should override it. Hello, Mohammed, how are you doing? It's Eggballs here. Okay. Hello, what is up? Alright, so maybe this isn't gonna work. I'm doing good as well. I'm doing good. Let's see. Is that set right? Capacity is that? You allocate enough for that. We set the first one equal to that. It's not gonna work actually. Not complicated, but save that undo stack. What are you working on right now? Color palette for user or auto indent or that C? Right now, actually, I'm working on undo because I really would like that feature. And then next, I'm probably gonna do the color stuff, like where you can basically enable highlighting, like a highlighting file, basically. That is the idea. But right now, I'm working on undo, redo kind of thing. Let's see. What if I do that? How does undo indent work now? Right now, it's pretty simple. Basically, I got cycle, so that's not good. Alright, so I don't think the copy buffer is working quite well. But I can show how it works. Alright, basically, it looks at how many open parentheses there are, or open braces there are, prior to it, and then it indents that amount, right? So if you have two like that, it will indent. Yeah, based on that. And that's all it is, basically, right now. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, undo crashed it. That's basically how it works. Because that's most of the time when you're gonna need the indenting. There's gonna be like with other languages it won't quite work. Oh shoot, that is actually I need to consider that. That's with visual mode. But yeah, with other languages that won't work. What Linux OS are you using? I'm using Arch Linux. Right there, Arch Linux. Also in Arch distro. Okay. Yeah. So like with Python, for example. Whoops. Yeah, like that. It's not gonna work, right? So I need to think of different ways to do that, but with C like languages, it does work pretty well, and that's like there's some other times where you might want that, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Free. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. I don't know why you did that. It was probably with the. I think I might know why. Yeah. Not a big deal though. Right now. I'll move on to, but every now and then the OS freezes and it won't take in any input. That is interesting. I don't know why that would happen, unless it's like a memory leak or something. That like, and then all your memory is being used, you know. Other than that, I don't see. I don't know. I've not had that issue with any distro. Oh, running it in a VM. Okay. That is different then. Yeah, so I think this copy buffer might not work. Let's see. Did I forget a field? I don't think so. We're allocating that. Let's look at this actually. Besides rows. Malloc. Okay. Maybe it's because I'm not using Malloc. Give it 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay. Yeah, it might be an issue with VMware. I don't know. I never really used VMware. I always used VirtualBox or what's that other one called? It's like QEMU. Yeah, that one. Okay, memset. Okay, I might need to do that. Well, no. That's basically just the same thing as using Calic, right? So not a big deal. For that, allocate that. Did I not do that? Ooh, shoot. Oh, whenever. Oh, that's interesting. Is it when you press tab or something? Or like something like that? Yes, just anytime you press tab. Tab for terminal. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, this needs to be low capacity. Well, I think I should do this in 2 passes, basically. We do one with the low capacity, where we just allocate. And then, current size. Yeah, the current size will be 0, so that's fine. And then we just do one for row size, where we set all the rows, basically. Try to use tab and you see go through like 5 folders. Set a current. Okay, that should be good then. Current undeclared. Oh yeah, so we don't have current. So we need buffer goes I dot size. There we go. Okay, let's go into here. Alright, it does. It did actually work that time. What was that? Okay, oh shoot, I didn't set it though, so buffer equals state dot undo stack 0. That's not right. Dot buff stack. X undeclared. What? Oh, I forgot this. Might just use Kali Linux instead since I'm so used to that. I have a different laptop with VMware. We're running Ubuntu and it's running completely fine. That's interesting. It might be an issue with the Ubuntu installation. You might need to like reinstall it or something. Have you tried that? Or okay. That's not quite right. Yeah, we got some garbage data in there. Oh shoot, but it does work. Okay. We just get garbage data. Which is not quite great, but can you say that again? Have you tried reinstalling Ubuntu? Sorry, sometimes I talk fast and it's not clear what I'm saying. Yeah, 3 times. Okay. Well, Kali Linux is based on Ubuntu, or is based on Debian actually, as far as I'm aware at least. So maybe you just want to try like vanilla Debian. It does take a bit more setup, but I think that might be something good. And it doesn't have as much bloat. Okay, why are we getting garbage? Yeah, it is garbage. So it's in the same way that was. What about Linux Mint? That's an easier setup as well. It's very similar to Ubuntu because it is based on Ubuntu. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Linux Mint, Pop OS, and yeah, like those are more like, I installed that on my little brother's computer actually, Linux Mint, and yeah, it's worked well for him. Just to teach him stuff. Yeah, that's a good one. I like Mint. Okay. That one is also like pretty similar to Windows in terms of the user interface, so it's easier to use coming from Windows. At least that's what I think. Okay. I use the first index. Yeah, that is strange. So the first one is like not right. Like let's try. What if I set it equal to it to right? Let me go to the view. Let's try to copy the very same buffer and see what it looks like. So it's not going to change any of the contents, but we get the same issues. Don't need a double pointer. Finish doing the tabs feature. You mean specifically, pressing tab? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you meant by tabs? Or is it something else? Turn mistake, that's okay. No. Like other files open within the other. No, I do not have that right now. I have NeoVim open here. So that's what I'm using full with that, and that is where the tabs are. In the Kano, I do not have that yet. I would like to implement that, but I don't have it yet. Once I start using Kano exclusively, then I will implement that, because that is something that I use frequently. But at the moment, I do not. Okay. Ooh, that is a thing. So it's on everyone. Uh-huh. Are they not being zero initialized? We are calicking it. How do you think you will approach the situation? Okay. So I think, let me think. I haven't thought about it too much, but let me see if I can come up with something that might work. So we're definitely going to need another buffer. right? Where everything will be stored. And then I can have an extra window at the top, if it's enabled at least, similar to how I have the line numbers, which I can show that. So, the line numbers are a different window, so I can have another one at the top for the tabs, right? And then I suppose if you just press tab, you go to the next tab, or something like that, or control tab, whatever, something like that. And then it will just basically switch the current active buffer. I'm pretty sure that would pretty much work. It's going to use more memory because you have to have both of them saved in memory, but I think that'd work. And then just basically you have a current active buffer, and then you also have the side buffers, Does that make sense? Pretty sure that would more or less work. Kind of like that. This is the issue, isn't it? I need to use the match inside. There we go. And I press undo. Why does it get rid of that one? Okay, it gets rid of the last one, so I think I need to do row size +1. Because otherwise it gets rid of it. Couldn't you just cache the content of each tab and then retrieve the contents based off of what tab you are in? Oh, well, that's more or less what I was talking about. Pretty much. Like where you have the current one, which is the buffer, and then you just switch which buffer. Like basically it needs to be a pointer to the buffer, and you just change what the pointer is pointing at, depending on what tab you're on. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Now that works. Okay. There we go. So now we just need to copy the buffer onto the undo stack. Yeah. So we have this. We have the initial one. We don't want to send it like that. We have the initial buffer. We press undo. We want to take whatever the top of the stack is. So I'll probably make a push and pop undo stack. That's probably a good idea. Push undo. I'm going to take the state. Or maybe just take the undo direct. Undo. Undo. It is an undo element. And then in pop undo, that'll take the same thing. But the pop will take, will actually return. Do you want to return it? Or, you want to return the, I'm going to return the buffer, because that's what's stored in there. Return a pointer to the buffer. Or yeah, probably just the buffer. Alright, so push, it's going to be pretty easy. Basically, we need to undo that buff stack. Let's see, it's not done. Undo buff stack. And then undo buff size. No, what's it called? I want to help out with this project, but I have no clue what these data types are, like buffer or size t. VS Code isn't helping out either. Okay, the buffer is a custom data type that I have in here, which is just basically it's a structure which contains all these other sub data types. The size t is something I think it's in. I think it's standard now, but it was previously in stdint, I think, which is just a header file for C in the standard library, and basically all it is an unsigned 64-bit integer, which is typically used for the size of different elements, hence the size. It's a size type, right? So like for arrays and stuff, because it's unsigned and 64-bit. Yeah, the buffer is just a collection of all these different data types that I have in here, like the file name. This is a sub thing for visual mode, and then all the different rows, and the rows are another struct that I have, which has all the contents of the rows, basically. Basically is how it works. Okay. Alright, so that buffs, yeah, what was that called again? What is buff size? That's kind of buff stack size. Yeah, but yeah. Buff stack size plus plus. Yeah, we want plus plus equals. We need the what we're pushing as well, so it'll just be a pointer. We don't really want a pointer. We want the direct thing, so we don't want that. Buffer buff equals buff. Okay. And that's it pretty much, I believe. So that'll iterate it and everything. Okay, and then here, we want to, well, first of all, we need to check. This is going to be more complicated as well if we extend the capacity, but we'll not worry about that yet. I'm going to check this, though, that, undo buff stack size greater than 0, or is equal to 0. Then we want to, return, I think we can return, like, an empty one. We're trying to return a buffer here, so I think I can do this. Now return an empty buffer. Which we can check that, but yeah, so we're trying to pop that. Hopefully that shouldn't happen. Okay, otherwise we want to do, we don't want to use plus plus though, we want to use minus minus before. So that'll decrement it before. We don't want to set that though. We just want to return this. Okay, and that will return the current one, and it'll also pop it off, but we need to free it. Free, well, we don't want to free it while we're still using it. When we press undo, we want to free the currently used one, so that'll be good. Okay, let's go to U. And yeah, so we want to set buffer equals pop undo, and we need the state undo stack pointed to it. We can set the buffer equal to that. Okay. And then when we press escape, I want to just push the current contents of the buffer. When we press escape in insert mode, actually. Okay, so we want to just basically push undo. Onto the undo stack, we want to push the current buffer. Like that. The current contents of it. Push copy buffer. Yeah, actually, let me change that. We're going to push the pointer to the current buffer. So let me update this function. We're going to want to take a pointer to that, and then we're going to set it equal to copy buffer. We want to copy it here. Copy buffer done. Okay, I'm pretty sure that will pretty much work. Alright, it did actually compile first try. Let's type some stuff out and press escape. Let's go here and type stuff out. And we're going to press undo. Okay. Alright, we have to do it twice though. Can't use a matrix to contain the recent words typed by the user. And then when they undo, it will just go to the matrix, which will also store the location of the words and remove it. Let me think. You could do that. But, like, so, let's say you make a really big change. Like, you're in this mode, right? And you have a whole bunch of stuff in here, right? Imagine this is hundreds of lines. And then you delete it all. Then you have to store a lot of different locations there. And then at that point, you're pretty much just storing the whole buffer. So I'd rather just store the whole buffer anyway. Why did that? Shoot. Okay. Because I didn't... Yeah, I need to undo that. Because this, we need to check to make sure it's not... Make sure it's not that. So let's go to state. Push undo. That's not where it is. It's on the undo. So let's actually make the temporary one. Equals pop undo. State undo stack. We want to pop that, and then we want to, if we're at the pop listing, we can pop an item off a list. Off an array. That is what we've got here, where we pop it off. This is a function that I just made. Where it just takes whatever's at the top of the array stack, and then it gives you that element, basically. If new buffer. I think, can I do this? Then break. Otherwise, we don't work. No, okay, so that doesn't work. Can I just check if it equals 0? Is that a thing that works? No. Okay. So, how can I do that? What would, well, maybe just even check the capacity. Not capacity, but capacity. To check that. Row capacity. Okay, so let's do this, and then undo. And it save faults every time now. Hey, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Poggers. Is your name pronounced Mohammed? Is that how you pronounce that? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. Otherwise, we send it to that. So why would that crash? It doesn't crash here, but when I do that, it does. Okay. Or just Mo. Okay. Mo. Is that fine if I call you that? Because that will be, that way I won't mess it up. Okay. Yes, alright. I'm very bad with names, by the way, so, yeah, I just want to, like, any names, I'm very bad at pronouncing. Okay. Let's see. Why does this fail? Could this fail? Equals 0. That should be returning 0. So that should be fine. Whoops. Okay, maybe, let's see what we do. I don't know why it would crash. It doesn't crash if I do this, but I go here. Yeah, just say false first try. Okay, first time. Okay, we might have to read the old buffer though. Is that gonna work actually? That might not work. No, we want a free buffer. That's what I meant to do. That might fail as well, because I don't know if we can reuse it like that. So I'll need to, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Is this returning the wrong thing? If buff stack size greater than or equal to undo buff capacity, then we want to, well, really what we're going to want to do is shift the array left, right, and then put it on the top. But we can't quite do that right now, so I'm not going to implement that, so I will just properly return. Otherwise, we'll have to do this. So then we can't go past that, so that is going to be important, obviously. Something, though, is here. I actually said it, so I need to not do that. I want to, I'm going to push that instead. Push undo. State.undo stack. And then copy buffer, like that. Okay. And then it's push property. It's supposed to just be a, wait, it's supposed to be a pointer to it, so it needs to be like that. What were you saying about my fork request, and how can the user pick the RGB values they like? Okay. No, it's gonna be a config file. So the way I can show what I have. Alright, let me open, it's in here actually, where we load, no, it's not in here, that's the wrong one, it's in this one. Basically it's a config file, right, and we load it. I can show what it would look like. So config container, in here. I do have one. So basically the way it works is, right now, this one, you set var, whatever the variable is, there's a few different variables, and then it just loads that, and then it parses the file, and it sets the variables based on that, and then we're going to have a separate one for syntax, so it'll be like, syntax or whatever, where you put the, you put it in here, and the way I was thinking is, like, so it'll basically be a file, and then you can download the file if someone else makes it. The way it would work is you put, like, the category, so say, like, a keyword, and then after that, I was thinking just making it comma separated, at least for now. You put the RGB value. So say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Never take it that large. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that. So that's the RGB values, and then you put all the keywords in there, all that stuff, that kind of thing. That's basically how I was thinking it would work. So it's a file. I've not done that yet, but that is something that I'm going to be doing very soon. And then that way you can make it for basically any programming language. You just put the category of whatever the keywords are, then you put the actual keywords and the RGB values that you want. Does that make any sense? Okay, good, good, good. To a degree. Which your pull request, it was fairly similar to that. It was just sort of more a built-in one, and it wasn't as extensible. Yeah. On a more like extracted one. Because right now the current syntax highlighting is just gonna be very temporary. I'm in the wrong file. That's why it's not coming up. It seems to be a project. It doesn't let me do this. I just yeah, that almost worked. I need to actually get rid of everything. Okay. Because I set this, and then yeah, now the syntax highlighting is off. So I want to actually display that. Okay. Um. Okay. Undo. It only works one time, and then it cycles. Right. That's interesting that it cycles. Is it cycling because of the syntax highlighting? Syntax highlighting. Because it what? That is interesting. That's cycles. It's not iterating this properly. Let's go back here. So if stack size equals 0, return 0, and we should be checking that. Otherwise, we return that. Okay. That's what we want. We're going to return that one. And then copy buffer. And that should copy the whole buffer. Enter. No escape. Excuse me. Because it works the first time to do that, but then not the rest of the time. Yeah, then it just cycles. So the first one works. First one works. It's probably because we're pushing the buffer directly. So the copy buffer must not work. Copy buffer. Yeah, that must be what's not working, right? That needs to be a pointer, so. How does the buffer store the data? Alright, I will show that in a second. Let me see what this is. So, it still does work, but then the second one is not. Buffer store the data. Oh, okay, for the undo. Basically, I have this copy buffer, and it just copies the contents of the entire buffer. This is just temporary, I need to clean it up. But basically, the buffer, it allocates a new buffer, which I should probably allocate. Well, could have returned a pointer. Could be that. But basically, yeah, we just have this, where it sets all of the fields to the same as the previous buffer. And then, yeah, we just set that at different times, and then we can just go back, basically. It's basically, history, right? Yeah, we have to reallocate new rows and then copy them in as well. Things like that. Yes, whenever we have more than that, it fails. So I think I'm gonna mess something up. Okay. What? If I copy this. Wait, why do I do this twice? That's what I wanted to do. This actually needs to be trying to access something which does not exist. Maybe you're missing a few parameters. Even then, if that was the case, it wouldn't work first time. Yeah, well, it's not. I don't think I'm missing any parameters because I copied it over exactly. I think the issue is the way I'm doing it. Trying to make it output with the buffer's content is, yeah, I can do that. Let me just see what this does. So, okay. Something I need to do actually. When we go into insert mode, that's what I want to do. Let me try a few things before I do that. So, yeah, actually, I'll just put it right here for that. And then I'll get rid of this escape. Yeah. Okay, let me see this. Okay. Okay, so I press insert. Then actually, so I can do that. So anytime you press insert, it will save it. Then I can undo all of those. Okay. That actually worked. Yeah. And then I can't spam in or anything like that. But yeah. Okay. I think that worked. Okay. Let me try to open a file. Right, now if I change something. Guess that's not going to work. I need to. There we go. Undo it. Okay. And then we're back to the normal state. Alright, so I actually got it working. Alright. Okay, yeah, the issue was actually with this. So I needed to allocate it like this. I was setting it to an invalid place on the stack, basically. I was popping it twice, which I didn't want to do. Okay, I think that works. Let me try saving actually. So if I, whoops, I don't want to save this one, so I'll just make a new file. Text.c, sure. So if I insert stuff, and then I insert more stuff, and then I undo, and then insert again. Undo that, and then save it. So then, okay, it actually saved the right stuff. Okay. That actually worked. Now, yeah, now I need to, anytime I go into any insert mode, I suppose I can save the buffer. What was the issue again? Basically, what I was doing here, instead of this, I was setting the buffer equal to pop undo. So I was doing this twice. So I was doing it up here, and then checking this, and then doing it again. And then it was just getting set to 0 for all of them, because I was popping below where the stack was at, basically. So I need to assign it to this, because here I check to make sure we don't, this check basically checks to make sure, if it's equal to 0, then that means it was invalid, because there was nothing else to pop. So that's basically what happened. Okay. Now, yeah, any insert mode. Any insert mode option. Oh, yes. I'm just going to put it here. So something I want to do is actually separate all the different types of things. Like the changing mode functions could be in a function, or I handle it there, and then I wouldn't have a lot of repetition like this. But I'm not going to do that yet. Soon, though. I will do that very soon. Maybe even today. This is a different mode, but I don't want to do it there. Okay, so these are all the insert mode ones. So that's where I want to save it. Okay, so now anytime you enter insert mode, so then that already is pretty useful. There are some checks I need to add. Yeah, now you can do that. Any insert mode that you enter, and then you can undo it. That undid the whole thing. Why did I do that? I should not have oh shoot, because I didn't put it on the O's. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. I assume you made it to where the undo feature won't crash the program if they try to undo something which does not exist. Yeah. I did that. That's what that check was for, actually. Right now I'm pressing undo, and it's not crashed. Like once you get to the oldest change, then you can't undo it. There we go. Yes. Now, right now it is limited though. And we don't shift it basically. Well, do we even need to shift it? Let me think about this. We do need to shift it, yeah, and then get rid of the first one. So I need to update this function. Update the push function. Where is that? Okay, so right now I'm just returning. What I want to do instead is shift the array to the left, right? So the first element gets removed. We can free it, and then we want to move all the rest of them over 1. So basically, like the layout would be, say, box 0, box 1, box 2, right? And then say we're at the capacity, we want to set, like, yes, get rid of this one entirely. And then now the array goes like this. So this is the 0th instead of buff 0, if that makes any sense. That's what I'm going to try to do now. So basically I need to, if this, then want to shift the array. Shift array. Don't need that. So, shift undo. We'll pass the undo. And that should be all that we need. Just a pointer to it. And we'll shift it leftward and free the first element. Okay, I think that should be fine. So we're going to void shift undo. I'm going to point it to undo. So basically, yeah, we want to set the first one. Free buffer. Undo. Buff stack. 0. So free that one. And then we want to basically set them all. So I equals 1. I is less than. Undo. Buff stack size. I plus plus. And we want to set undo buff stack I minus 1 equals undo buff stack I. I believe, let me probably shift undo left actually. Then we don't need to return anything, because we're shifting it left. I think that's how I want to do it. So then if that 1, it's set 0 equal to 1. And then 2, yeah, and that goes all the way down. Alright, I think that should work. Pretty sure. And then we want to set, yeah, we need to decrement the size by 1 as well. Do buff stack size by 1. And there we go. And then when we set it here, it'll fill up again. Alright. Shoot, so we can't free the buffer like, it needs to just be a pointer to it, yeah. And this also, I'll see if it crashes from that, because it might crash in the free buffer, so I might need to work on that. It's not allocated, right? So let me do this. I'm going to insert mode a few times. I think that should be working. I can go back, and then there is, that's the latest change that we can do. So right now, the size is 16. But I can change it, well, I could just change it in here. So I could make it pretty large if I wanted to save the whole buffer, so I can make it, say, 128. That might even crash it. Well, probably not. There we go. So now we can make 128. So I can actually, yeah. Anytime we can insert mode, it triggers, so that's just the easiest way to do it. And then, yeah, I could undo all the way back to there. So I think, maybe I'll do like 32 for the default size, but then I'll make it, you can change it, right? In the config file. So I need to make a command for that. We don't have redo yet. I will worry about that a bit later. First, I want to add the command, because that is kind of important. So, let's see, parse command, execute command. This is a bit dirty. I don't really like it. But basically, I just want set var. What is the variable called? It's called undo. So I can just call it undo size. That's fine. Undo size. What other commands do you wish to add? Well, I kind of would like the command system to be very extensible, so that the plugin system can sort of be based on that. So I want something where you can like split the window, right? So you could set you could like split window, and then you could have 2 different windows open, you know, at the same time. I think Vim has something like that. Like there's a terminal one here, something like this as well. And then also the tabs could be based on that as well. Where basically the keybind maps to the command, right? So you could do like tab next. I'm pretty sure there's something like that in Vim as well. Yeah, tab next actually. So stuff like that. That sort of thing. So I want basically full control over the config from the command. So then the command system can basically just be a list of commands that you execute with loops and all that stuff, you know? Undo size. What is the size of this? 9. I don't know how you're going to display feature. I don't know either. But I also didn't know a lot of the stuff I was doing until I did it, so. Syntax, we don't want syntax, we want undo size. Because Vim has that, so, you know, always is possible. Well, yeah, possible. Alright, so that's good. Incorporating regex. I don't really know. Like, regex, mostly what I want to implement is stuff that I use, you know? And I don't know if I've ever really used regex, except for, like, maybe 3 times. So I don't really use it. So I might save that for something that, you know, a pull request or something like that, because I don't really want to figure that all out for something that I'm not going to use, because really the point is something that I'm using, the editor. And that's a bit more complicated. Regex is something that's a bit more complicated, so it's not something I could just really easily add, you know? That makes sense. So then you should be able to set var undo size to 4, say. Okay, that looks like it works. So then it should only go back to 4. Oh shoot, because we didn't reallocate the buffer, so we need to do that. So we need to, yeah, basically we need to update this. So now we're going to have to pass that into the handle command. Well, no. Yeah, so we need to pass the state here. State. What do we call execute command? We pass the state. Right, here as well. Shoot, that is quite a thing, eh? We don't have that, so yeah, I'm not gonna put this here. So I'll put it up here. Okay, now it should actually, well, it's not gonna compile yet, because I need to update this. So I need to say state. Let me actually look at that. State. Let me just copy all of this. Go to here. Okay, so I want to do this. So I want to set state undo stack dot buff capacity equals value equals undo size, right? Yeah, and then I need to reallocate that, but I need to remove the existing ones. So that's gonna clear it all, but I think that's probably okay. It's basically just free state undo stack stack. Also, I need to iterate over it first. Buff size, stack size. I just want to free buffer pointer to state undo stack dot buff stack I. Free those and then free the actual stack and then reallocate. So yeah, we want to then set the size to 0 equals 0. And yeah, so it just sort of resets the whole thing, but that's okay. Most of it is going to be loaded in the content file anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So nothing will exist yet. Okay, then we want to do this. Stack. Yeah, we need to allocate it first. State. Undo stack. Okay, calc, right? Okay. Then push that. Okay. That should be fine. That should actually update it, I think. This did not work. Shoot, that needs to be a pointer, so. Yeah. This is a double pointer now, so that's not good. What? Should undo, that needs to be like that. Copy buffer, buff. Oh yeah, it's called buff. And here as well. Okay, and then oh shoot, this needs to be actually equal to that. Click the identifier before that. I don't know what this means. Doesn't like something. I forget the semicolon. If I get rid of this, you know, if I get rid of all of this, then it compiles, right? No. 0.r. This was working though. Oh shoot. That's not right. There we go. Okay, CD build. Okay, and let's actually set volume, undo size to 4. There we go. Now it only goes back 4. Did you add a find and replace feature? No, I did not do that yet. I do have search though, so you could probably use that as part of it. If you want to figure that out though. Because that is definitely something that was on the to-do list, because I use that quite often. Yeah, it probably won't be too difficult to figure out actually, if you just use the search feature. Or at least, like, maybe, I don't know how I have it set up, but basically you could call that same function, you know, and replace it. Yeah, if you want to look into that, that would be very helpful. Because it was definitely on the to-do list. And it shouldn't be that hard. That should probably be implemented. What is, I don't remember how I did it. Let me see. So it's in the slash. No. I can't. Okay. Slash. There you go, right here. One equals search. That's in search. So I need to go to search right here. Enter. Yeah, so we call search. That's not what I wanted. Right here. Okay, so it iterates over it. You press the key. Well, that is a Vim keybind. Where you can press G and D, and it takes you to where wherever what you're looking at is defined. So say I make a mode here. Mode equals mode, right? I can go to there where it says mode, and I can press GD, and it jumps to there. But it is in, well, it's in Neovim. I can use the VS Code extension. We can get the same feature, and I think VS Code has something similar to that built in as well. But yeah, that's how I did that. Alright, here's the search function though, right here. Basically just searches over. It doesn't return stuff. But you could update it. Basically just sets it to that position. What is it called again? What? It's GD. GD. That's the keybind. Okay, so this, yeah, now this works. Yes, no problem. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, let me actually commit this, because that is pretty good. Let me update the readme. So, that, excuse me, you have a new config variable, which is undo size. Size of undo history. Okay, and then we have u, which is a command. Which can go like right there. Undo. Okay. There we go. So that's how it works right now. Let me actually commit this in. Implemented the start of undo. Implement the start of undo. No redo or anything like that. Okay, that was a pretty big one. All right, so let's make sure that works good. All right, undo. Probably explain a bit of how it works, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we have undo, redo. Say we wanted that. So that could probably be like maybe capital U. I think that makes sense. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. All right, yeah. So let's see that. Let's go to undo. That's not what I wanted. Make U. Let's say we have a capital U. So how would redo? Basically, I'm gonna take the most recent one. So we might need to update how we're doing the static because that's not gonna quite work, right? What if I undo? Okay, okay, we could use that. So really, you just want to redo the things that you just undid. So if we don't free the buffer, yeah, if we don't free it until we adjust the stack size, then I think that's fine. Okay, I think we can work. So basically, we want to basically increment the stack size and then use that. So, how do I want to do that? It needs to exist though. Let me try that. So set new buff equal to say undo stack undo stack dot undo stack, sorry, like dot buff stack state undo stack. I probably should have made a variable for this, but okay. Dot buff stack size. I'm gonna do plus plus. Obviously that's not gonna be exactly right, but basically I'm gonna set it to that. No. Yeah, that was a good point. So how can I do that? I pop it off. What do I do? Right. See, because it's still set there. It's still in the memory. But then if you change it, it won't be, right? If you overwrite it, but if we have not overwritten it yet, then we should be able to still undo. Okay. So maybe actually I want to do this. Because we want to, yeah, because the top point's right past it. It's just getting set to 0, so it's not right. How do I want to do this? Let me think. Oh shoot. Okay. Almost. Should be able to go back and forth though, so that's not quite right. Let's see. So why is the plus plus not like that? Because that's the same thing, but it actually iterates it. Okay. It's almost right. We might be going too far as well, so we need to check that. So like if the boundary's out of range, if if state undo stack dot buff stack size greater than or equal to state undo stack dot buff capacity. So if it is there, that means we're full. So we can't go past it. So we need to just break with it. Yeah. Otherwise we can do that. If it's equal to that, yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, but that should work. We should be able to press U there and then undo it. Oh shoot, but you know what? We don't want to do this. Then we need this plus 1. And then if we get here, we want to actually iterate it. Right? Because we don't want to iterate it if it's out of bounds, you know? When we press undo, should we save the buffer as well? Save the prior buffer, you know? Is that a good idea? Yeah, maybe I should do that. You know, where we basically just push it. Let's see. Let me go to one of these, push undo right here. This is what I want. After we copied them. Remember identity. Oh, but then it just, yeah, then we get stuck in a loop, so we can't do that. Right. Won't be able to comment for a bit. I'm trying to implement the find and replace feature. Alright. All good. Good luck with that. Also, can you, as you're working on it, let me know, like, sort of how you're thinking about going about it, so I can sort of know what you're thinking, if that makes any sense. I should probably output the stack size. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. I should make a log file. Like, basically just a file, yeah, a log file. Because I don't understand why that doesn't work. Oh, now we're stuck in having to rebuild it. Need the output of the search function so that it returns the position. Okay, instead of, because it does update it, so something that, you should probably do, just need to return J. Okay. Oh, well, it does update the buffer that you use, so you need to keep that in mind as well. It's gonna, like, move where it's at, you know? So, like, maybe you want to, like, it's gonna take a bit of updating, but maybe you want to have it return, like, basically return. I think I have something here, like, yeah, that's what it's called, a point. It's like you have it return a point when you initialize a point here, right? And then you set it equal to JM index here. Instead of updating this, and instead of iterating through the whole thing, you iterate through these points, where the points start at whatever the buffer is at, and then if it finds it, it just returns those, and then when we call the search from the actual, from here, so search from here, you could, instead of just handling this, you just set the current position equal to what this returns, if that makes any sense. Because then, you know, you won't have any side effects from the function, if that makes sense. Let's see, where was I at? Right. Undo. That's what we have in mind. Alright, good. That's probably a good change anyway, because probably don't want to move it, regardless. So, yeah. Let's see how this would work. So, let's say, let me try that. Yeah. We load the initial one. Press insert. Change that to plus one. Alright. So, it's just like one. What do you say about pointing in? Here's what I think is a good idea. So basically, I have this point here, this point structure, right? It has an X and a Y. That is what we use for the position in the row. Like the, let's see, in the row we have the index and the size. yeah, and also in here. So we have the current, this is actually where you would update the current position and the row index. These correspond to a point, basically. So they could even be confining to a point, but I didn't do that. And then what I would like is for this to return a point. And then you initialize a pointer here, in which the x equals buffer current position, and then the y equals buffer row index, right? And then you use that row to iterate through these. So instead of using buffer row index here, and actually it's probably fine to use that, but anywhere where we actually modify it, right? So here where we update it, instead of doing that, you set the point dot x equals index, and point dot x equals current position, and no, equals j. That's what I'm gonna say. And point dot y equals row index, because you need both of them to know where you're at, and then you just return that point, and then I basically just did it, but yeah. And then in the search again, in here, after we call search, you set buffer current position, so you don't need this normal position anymore, but basically buffer that current position equals the output of this. So basically the search point dot x, and then the row index equals search point dot y, if that makes any sense. Basically that's what I think would work best. Hopefully I didn't just mess anything up, but okay. What if I don't do it? Can't get the latest undo. That is the issue. I do that, we could though. We don't. We don't want the topmost one. I want the last one that was. Do I need a separate stack for this? Because this kind of works already. It's just not quite perfect. Let me write some actual code. So printf text. Right there. Undo that. Then I can't redo it. Yeah, you can't redo the most recent undo. Which is not great. Undo twice, so that is not good at all. Excuse me. So let's see, how could I do that? What exactly do I want to do here? So let me think about how the stack is lined up, right? We have buff 1, buff 0, really. Buff 0, buff 2, buff 1, buff 2. Alright. Excuse me. These are most recent ones, right? And right now we're pointing at this one, so that, but this is empty, okay? And then when we undo, we set the current equal to this. This one is not empty, it's still there, but it's like a shadow, right? And then that one's still there. But now we are pointing, really we're pointing to this one. This is the current one that we're pointing to. And then if we want to redo that, then we're gonna want to push it. Okay. Push. Can I do that? Push undo. Undo. Stack. Undo button. Does that work? Can't leave these here. Oh, look. So we push it. Well, really I want to copy it, right? Copy buffer. Okay. Just be like that. That's fine. Then we have that one. So we have buff 0, buff 1, buff 2, which got removed. But then we set the current one equal to that, but then we also put it here. So we have buff 2. And we're pointing to this one now. Then we try to undo it. Yeah, then we just go back to that one. So really I don't want to push it, but I want to replace that one. Right? Well, no. Let's update the pointer. I don't want to. And we're pointing at it. We undo, we try to go back to here. We undo, we're going to be able to go here. So we don't want to push this. Alright, so say we're here. It's kind of hard to think about because there's a lot of stuff. Say we're here, we're pointing here. So we just undid it, right? So this doesn't exist. So this is the current buffer, is right here. And we're pointing at this one still. Then we want to set it to this one, but still point at this one previously. Okay. Then if we undo, we'll go back to this one. Then if we redo, it gets set to that one. Yeah. Okay, that's where the issue comes in. Alright, so we start out here. We undo. And now we're pointing here. But this is the active one. If we try to redo it, we can't set it to the empty one. But we want to be able to undo it. We want to be able to undo and go back to this buffer. However, we then go back to it, but then undo it. Yeah, that makes it complicated. I need like a separate undo stack for the redo though. I don't really want to do that. See, the redo is quite important. Let's see. So we're pointing here, right? After we've undone it, we're gonna be able to restore this one by redoing. Redoing. And then undoing, we should be able to go back to this one. Then if we undo it again, we go here. We'd also like to be able to redo and go back to this one. But we wouldn't go back to that. So we need to I do this, right? Equals that. Well, first we do plus 1. Then we check this and we break. So we have a double check. Excuse me. Get rid of that again. Nope. Yeah, we can't go to that. Doesn't work. Hey, alright, undo it gets complicated. Or redo it. Let's see, let me see if I can find something to read it. Not Reddit. Let's look for in-date or something. Not this, but I want how it works. Alright, maybe we're not gonna find something. That changes. Undo. Alright, let me think. That's not very helpful. Okay. Maybe I need to change how we're handling it. So right now it's on a stack, right? It's interesting. Quite an interesting problem. Almost can close it. Almost can close it. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. About 3 minutes. Give me a moment. Okay, I am back. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so we need to redo to it. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. What? Um. It's okay. What if we change this? What if we make it so the top points to the topmost item instead of pointing right above it? That wouldn't really be helpful. Let's see. So really, we want this one. Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3. Pointing at this one, we undo, we go to this one. We go back to this one. Then undo again, we want to go back to this one. So yes, what if we don't decrement it, right? So we're pointing at this one, right? What if we look? We'd be pointing, we undo. So we're pointing at this one. That's the top. So redo would restore this one. And undo would go back to this one. So we don't want to increment it. Okay, so it's really hard to think about. Basically, you have an empty one here, right? Nil. That's where we start. We're typing. And then we undo. So we go to this one. Okay, yeah, so we go back to this one. That's the undo. Then when we redo, it's probably kind of need to save it on the undo. So what do we set? State undo static. Undo static dot buff static. State undo static dot buff static size equals copy buffer. Would that work? Get rid of this again. I always leave that stuff in. You should do it in the comments. New buff. It's undeclared. Oh shoot. Okay. Undo still works. Okay. You just can't. You just can't go all the way back, which isn't ideal. And so if we type out a lot of stuff, when we undo it all, I'd like to be able to go back to all of it, you know? So that's why we kind of need a different stat. So maybe I should just make a different one. Okay, what if I do that? So in the state, what do you have an undo stack and a redo stack? You don't need to change a lot. We don't need to initialize it, and then we push onto that. All right, what did we try? Okay, maybe that could work. Where do we set it up? We set it up here. We can set the redo stack capacity as well. To that. And the size, when we set to 0, we need to calculate. Temp buff. Yeah. Okay, we don't need to push anything yet. Let me go here. What if we push onto undo into the state redo stack, right? We push the current one. We don't need that extra point there. Okay, and then we use that. We want to pop from that stack. Undo state undo stack. Okay, we need to change all this to redo stack. Okay. Push onto that. Alright, what does that look like? Undo. Okay. Then it just... Okay, I see. So when we do that, we need to also increment the undo stack size. As long as it exists. So they're sort of like inverse of each other. What would you like the keybind to be? Let's see. Do you think you could let's see. What if well, it depends on how it's implemented. If you implement it in terms of excuse me, sorry about that. In terms of search mode, like in here, you could detect like maybe if you put an S in front of it or something like that. If you're not doing it like that, well, I really need to know how it's implemented to be able to say. Okay, there we go. That is looking pretty good. Implement it into search mode. Okay, so you could do that, or you could have like well, yeah, that'd probably be the best. If in search mode, you could implement it where, whenever you are searching for something, right? Like say you're in search mode, then just you press S and then slash or whatever. and then whatever you type out is what you search for. So basically, you need to sort of parse it initially, parse what is outputted from here. Yeah, because this actually does the command, right? Parses the command here. So two new functions, one called replace and one called find and replace. Okay, okay. Well, could you maybe like before you implement any functionality, could you make a pull request for that so I could look over it and see sort of how it looks, and then I could see what I think would be best for implementing, if that's all right with you. Yeah, I know what you meant. I knew what you meant. Yes, that would be very helpful. And also, I got this working, so that's pretty cool. Undo and redo. Pretty nice. Go back pretty far, and you can go all the way there. So there we go. Yeah, it seems to actually work. Okay. Let me update the README and I'll push this. Let's see. I'm gonna push this and then I will pull your pull request. Undo. Update you. Redo. Add search. No, not search. That's what you would do. Well, kind of. Add read to go along with our new data test. Okay, I'll push that. It wasn't even very big. Okay. Yeah. Let me see when it is. Let me know when it's up. All right, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let me open can't undo that though, so I need to actually do that. Probably a good idea. Because right now it's just based on insert mode, so not great. Excuse me. Yeah, so probably after that I will work on that. Work on implementing it for the other nodes. I should free all the buffers in those stacks as well. So then let's see. State dot undo stack buff stack response free buffer make undo stack buff stack. They do the same thing for the other one. Let's see. Then redo stack. Yeah. So I need to implement some free ones during runtime to make sure there's no leaks and such when we shift things around. Set. Alright, I will take a look at that. Let me just make sure this works. Alright, yeah, let me push this because I don't want any conflicts. Three buffers. Okay, let's see. Pull request. Alright, let's see how this looks. So fit draw changes, alright, not too big. Okay, I forget how do you make this look better? Alright, so search point. Alright, so returns a point now. Is there a better way to view it? No, that's not what I want. No. Okay, point. Turn point. Okay, yeah. And you did test it and it works, right? There are no results. Then, alright, well, I don't think this is necessarily a good idea. Returning -1. Because, yeah. Okay, yeah, because what I would like to do, well, I mean, I can do this, because this actually looks fine. Let me look at the replace now. Current equals that. Move. Okay. Copy. Need to add a way to color. Okay. Hello, Xylem, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure exactly. I do apologize. Alright, find and replace. Yeah, search that. Okay. Alright. So yeah, here's what I think. I think you should do is make it close enough. Okay. Yeah, I apologize. So don't do this. Don't set it to -1. That's not a good idea. Plus, they are size t's anyway, so you can't set it to negative numbers. That doesn't work. But just leave it how it is, because it'll be the current position. That's fine. Get rid of this where it does this. Well, here I can pull it down and actually make those changes, and then I'll push it, and then you can pull those changes if that's all right. Because this is fine. Most of it is fine. We do have the color stuff. I'm not gonna let's see. Okay. I don't want this other commit though. How do I just accept one commit? Can I pull? Okay. I don't want to pull that. No. Okay. Yeah, now I pulled the color stuff. I did not want that. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of the color stuff, if that's all right with you. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I meant to just accept the one, but I thought it worked. Let's see. Yeah, that's just right here. So, well, no. Okay, where is it? I thought it was up here. Right, it's just the file, so I don't want to get. Alright, whatever. It's not a big deal. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, so in here, let's go to the search. Yeah, so here's what I was thinking, right? Let's do it back because I don't know. Okay. So only the colors. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So, we need. Let's see. We need to get rid of these because that's not gonna work. All right. And instead of this, we just return these. All right, that comes in. All right, we just will return these. Let's see. I want to get it to work. I should have merged this not domain. Okay. I also want to make sure it all compiles and such. And then I'm gonna update so that it will actually work here. Will be called the search. So search. Oh yeah, so I need to update this as well. So then buffer position equals new x, and buffer row index equals y. Then we also call the search here. New position equals that. X. New y. Okay, let me compile that. Let's see. It looks like it does compile. Oh, there's just some stuff in there, but that's okay. So go in here, run this. I want to make sure the search works. So if I name it here, search for name. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. That is not good. Let's see. Why? Why does it jump to there? Point, let me look at this. We don't need this one because here point instead of void. Yeah, well that shouldn't be an issue because I set I set that to it, you know? That was expected, see? We're setting it to that. So I don't think it would be because of that. Because then we should be able to update it here. All right, let's see. Let me look at how it looked before. Just in here or whatever. Just open the file. Okay, how do you do this? Browse files. Okay, so let's go to search. I just want to see how it differs, right? I'm pretty sure it was all the same, right? Hard to read like that. Okay, so we have. No, that's not. All right, so we just we do that row index plus buffer row size plus that I plus plus. It doesn't return anything. It does return. It returns the point. It didn't do that before though. Yeah. What? Equals 0. Yes, that's the same. That's the same as well. Yeah, so none of that. This is. Yeah, none of that is different. Two functions create a temp value of the variables, pointers perhaps? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, I don't see what that has to do with this exactly. Let's see. Something to do with buffer. Um, it's like not. I need to check the values that are being returned. I'm gonna print them out. Let's go to search. Okay, right here. Let me just well, I don't think it would have overwritten anything because we're not modifying anything until we're right here. So I don't think that's the issue. New post.x. Y, we need to print two of these. And then we will exit it. Okay, let me try that. So we can see what the values are. I do this, and then this, and then let's search for enter. 0 and 1. Okay. So that's the starting values. Yeah, so it's not updating the values now. For whatever reason. Why does it jump here? I don't get that. Okay. Search. Right here. So this isn't being set back. So we set it here. Oh, shoot. Wait, point.x. Yeah, we don't need the, it just needs to be .x. Yeah, but it should be updating here once it's found. So. Hey, Alabaz, how are you doing? How is it going? Turn point. The inner loop somehow got messed up, even though it's the same as this, though. So, let me look at this. For row index. Plus that, okay. Index equals I plus row size plus 1 mod that. Okay, current. That's the same. Yeah, it's all the same. So because this worked before. I tested it and it worked. Finally can watch a stream. Yes, glad to have. So, what if I exit here? Then we can see if we actually get here. We do. We don't. Okay. I don't think we get there. Let me go back to the search because I need to disable that because I do have it to crash here still. Return a pointer to yeah. Well, that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't have anything to do with this. What's going on? We're trying to implement search and replace. And right now we're having an issue with the search function. Yeah, the pointer it doesn't because this just returns the same copy. Like that shouldn't matter. Let me get rid of that because I was trying to see if that triggered. Alright, it does still crash, but it's at 0, 0. So that's not good. So it got here, but we didn't update the values. How many bytes is the source code? Let's see. Alright, so we have a few files. We don't need these colors though. That's not part of it. Alright, we have these files. So 50,000 plus 6,500 plus 145 plus this one. That is what it is. Okay, so it's returning 0. So these are 0 for some reason. Way to go, for real. 0 and 2. Oh, so it's returning the current position. Right, so it's getting... Why is that? Sudo rm rf / That's a good idea. Okay, this we don't want to set it to this actually. We want to set it to index. That's what that's supposed to be actually. Okay. That's actually right then. Yeah, it was weird. We were just setting it to the wrong value. We were supposed to set it to index. Alright, so it actually, yeah. Alright, now when we press enter, it should do that. And it should set it where we need to go. There we go. Okay. It does work. Alright. Right there. Yeah. Alright, it does indeed work. Okay. Stream response. It worked. It worked. I can show you what happened. What was the issue? Let me go to the search function. Alright. The issue was we were setting it to buffer row index. That was not right because we don't update buffer row index. So it's just getting set to that one. We need to just set it to index because that was actually the index of where we're at. That was what the issue was. It was just misconfiguration. I cannot speak. Okay. What even was that? Alright. Yes, that was it. So now we can try out the replace. So yeah. Let's see. Alright, so I can actually push this if you want to implement the replace. So what I'm thinking, let me see how I think it should be done. So this is the regular search. Let me see what the best idea would be. So if we parse the command, Okay. What if we have something like if int size is greater than 3, then what we'll do is we'll sort of change the way we want to do it. So let me think. Basically, we want to take the first 3 characters of it, right? So we want to do string compare on the command key. I want to see if it has s slash the first 2, right? If that, then that means we did something like that, right? That slash, and then whatever we type. So then we want to use it as a search and replace, right? So we're going to do search and replace here. Otherwise, we want to just do this. Else we can kind of exit from here. So I don't really need that else. So then we can do a break after the search and replace, and then let's see. I'm gonna insert it. I don't know what the function's called, but I'll just put it down here. Search and replace. Otherwise, it'll just go through and it'll do this stuff, regular search, if that makes sense. So that's sort of what you want to do. All right, and also, yeah, when you do it, you need to update some of these things because you check -1, and that's not bad. Okay, let me make sure that works. Wait, what? So we can't press enter now. All right, hang on. Now I broke it. Why did that break? I actually can put this string in compare in here. Thanks. Why can't I press enter? Okay, why does that block it? Else. I don't. Oh shoot. Is that right? Because it's a point. Okay, there we go. Yes, that is what I want. I don't think I need else though. I just want to make sure it works before I push it up. Just not. Okay, so we do need an else. Why though? Let's see. We still want to go to normal though, regardless. So back over there. What? It was just working. Huh? Oh, that only works if it's less than 3. Okay, so that is not good. Oh, should this need to equal 0? Okay, that's what we need. Yeah, I forgot that they get to do that. Alright. There we go. Okay, that's what I want. So get in. Let's see. Let's replace. Well, really, it's just that was adding the other one. So update. Search. Search. Alright, there you go. So you can pull that down and try to implement it sort of with what I have here, if you can. Let's see. Let me actually look at the search and replace that you made. What is this? What was it called? Let's see. There we go, right here. Playing chess. Alright, all good. Also, do you think you could update the function name so that they are like that instead? Just when you get to do that, because then it's more consistent with what I have. Also, that's pretty standard for C, a snake case. Sure. Alright, thank you. Okay. So, yeah. Alright, yeah. So you can try to get that working when you can. I will probably... Let's see, there was... I got the undo. Not that way. So, undo, maybe, so. Okay, so what I wanted to do was actually update when it is triggered. So... I'm gonna probably make some functions here. Handle keys. So, instead I want, handle, let's see, I want to handle any ones where things are changing. So, these two, for sure. Those are really the only ones here, and the replace ones. Yeah, okay. Undo, yeah, undo is not. Okay, so yeah, that's what I want to do. So I want to have, handle, handle, and pass the buffer into the current character. And I guess the repeating, okay. We don't need that, do we? Yeah, I don't think we do. Alright, so, yeah, we can go by this handle multiple keys. But this is going to actually return if it is successful. Okay, so let me copy this one. So we have X and D, those can go. Okay, like that. Alright. Okay, so we need that, and then we need the other ones as well. So give me a second. Okay, yes, we need these other ones as well. The other modifier. So any that modifies characters. So replace. That one definitely does. We might need to pass a few more things to them as well, other than just the body, but that's the stuff. I'm gonna put brackets around it because consistency. And then what is the other one that we have? There's one more, right? No, I guess it was not. Okay, so this is int modify. Yeah, and then if it's modified, we want to trigger the thing. So I want to make sure that works first. I guess I did not update the name of it, so I need to do that. Okay. So this needs to be a switch actually on the character. Alright, let's see if it actually compiles. We don't need this repeating count. It does not compile. So unused variable, that's fine. Main win underclass. So we need to pass the main win, which we should put that into a struct. Okay, yeah, so I've got about 20 minutes before I have to go. So yeah. So I should be able to get this done. So we need to pass the window. Window. I think that's the only one that we need. What we have in here. Okay. Then Y. We need Y as well. Okay. Which is a size T, I think. It's a pointer to it, so why is it? I want to do that. Okay, I suppose so. I'm gonna update this find your place stuff so that I don't get the errors. Well, yeah, I want to kind of. I'm just gonna comment it out. And then yeah, the pull request will update them. Okay, so I should get rid of those. Now we have control resend a function. Okay. Handle modifying keys. We need to actually return stuff here. So what I'm going to do is have a default case. And in that case, I want to return 0. Otherwise, I want to return 1. So if it's any of these, it will get to this point and return 1. Oh, and I think that's good. Okay. Because then we return 1 if it's modified. Alright, unused parameter. That. Okay, shoot, that just made a lot more of that. Okay, right here. I'm just gonna delete it because it's in the request already, so that should be fine. And it's still gonna be unused stuff. Okay, we don't call it anymore, so that's fine. All right, now it's just unused. So let's make sure it still works. All right, yeah. So we still handle it all the same. So that is good. Now we can actually check if it's modified. So let's not run it. Okay. So then if modified, then I want to push undo. I want to push that one. So push the current state of the window. Or how do I want to do that? Really, I want to do that before we do that, though. Well, no. What if we push it and then pop it off if it is not? Yeah, okay. Push undo. Let's see. What do we need to push? We need to push state undo set, and then also the right. And then if not modified, we want to pop undo. Something like that, I believe, should be good. But with that, I forgot a semicolon. I guess I need to save it. That's a double pointer. Okay, CD build. So now, I modify it, and then undo. Let me undo. Okay. Alright, that is good. That, there we go. Let me do it as well. Undo all the way back. Perfect. That is what I want. Yeah, you can go like that as well. Yes, 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 yes. Alright, that is actually perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. The only other case, which I'm going to push this thing. Move, modifying, please to separate function, and push onto a new stack if modified. Okay, push that. So the only other case would be with visual mode. I'll start with how you asked me to do. All right, perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So yeah, basically what I'm thinking is visual, right? So if you select a lot of text like this, then I want to be able to undo that. That worked. No, it didn't work. I thought it just magically worked somehow. You know that didn't make sense. Okay. So we need in mode equals visual. We need to do some stuff. So we could probably do like the same thing. Really, this is the only one that changes it though. So I could if you press any of these, then we push it. I think that would just work. It's like right before we push push undo, undo, no, say undo, undo stack, buffer, just push that, and that's it. So, let me just type that some time. Select it all, undo. Okay. Okay, there, I think that actually worked, so, yep. There we go. That worked. Alright, that was... I guess I should add that. I didn't realize it'd be that easy. But we only have one place where it modifies it. At least right now. In the future, it'll be different. But for now. Okay. That's pretty good. So yeah, now the case where it updates is whenever you enter insert mode from normal mode, it will change it. Or if you modify something in normal mode. Okay, or visual mode. Okay. Something else I might want to do is actually move some more stuff in normal mode into a function. It's like, let's see. Right now we have the motion stuff. I should put this into the motion. Why is it not? If you're in this mode, visual mode, you should be able to jump to the next one. So I think I can do that. I think that would just work. Take that handle motion right in here and just put it down here. Okay, let's see. Let's compile. It does. So now I go like that. Now I enter visual mode. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. Let me commit that. Nice. Alright, let's see. What do we do? Add undo to visual mode and add that support to visual mode. Okay, yeah, it's really visual mode too. Alright, push that. There we go. Oh wait, do we have more commands to add now? More motion. Not really. Okay. So. Right. Okay, are there any other ones? Let me look in normal mode. So we have these ones where we switch. So I could probably separate those. So then, yeah, let me have these. These should go in the modify mode too, right? No, because that's different. These are the switch into insert mode ones. So I should probably make one for those as well. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So let me make handle normal to insert keys. That's kind of a long function, but here. Hopefully that's all we need. I'm not sure though. I want these. Okay. Character, paste that in there. This is what I want it to return in the same way. Okay. Oh. Both of those. Not that one though, because that doesn't switch it. So. Okay, and then default. Turn 0. Otherwise, turn 1. Okay. That's what I wanted, and then in here I want to get rid of this. Push undo. I want to add that in the same way. So modified, and then int insert window insert normal to insert, yeah, switch. Okay, if not modified and not switch, then top. Okay. Whoops. Does not compile because too many arguments. Ah, yeah, we don't need the y. Unused parameter, main window. Okay, can get rid of that. Repeating count. Alright, so we need repeating count. Okay, and I think that's the last thing. Okay, so to upload. All right, there we go. So that is pretty good. So we moved those, and then that way we don't need to constantly repeat this. We can also do if switched. Then I want to set name equals insert. Then I can get rid of these as well. Anything that is repeated in these, I can get rid of. So I can get rid of the repeating count too, and then we don't even need to pass that. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll do that. Get rid of repeating count and we'll set it in there instead. Because we did that for all of them. So shoot, then I doesn't do anything. It's kind of funny. Okay. Get rid of repeating count and set it here. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we just got rid of quite a bit of repetition. That's pretty good. I will push this, and then I think I do have to go. Add, let's see, me, normal to insert key function, and yeah, that's it. Okay, that's pretty good, pretty good. Alright, so that was pretty productive today actually. So got undo, redo, implemented pretty much fully. Let's see what else. We also clean some stuff up, and then yep, we've got Mo working on the search and replace. That's very good. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it then. Shoot, I do need to add something here for. No, I don't. I do not. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.